Good morning, my faithful lawyer YouTube subscribers. Today it is Monday, December 14th. Your time is about 10 o'clock in the morning. My mother just left here about an hour ago, maybe less. She got up. Like I said, she needs to go. It's cold outside and it rained last night. She said she got to go somewhere. Who knows? I'm trying to figure out. I'm washing some clothes. I think my mother still mentioned something about she's going to go vote today. We were talking about voting because I'm going to go vote today. I might go by there to see if the lines are not too long. Then I might go vote. So once again, me and mother having conversations. And she asked, well, what? Did you ever think you ever wanted to have children? I said, I'm looking at my mother like, now she's talking French. My mother's the type of, she has encouraged all her children to have children, even when they couldn't afford to have children. I wish my mother had encouraged my sisters to have kids when they could afford to have children, when their marriages were secure, or their relationships were secure. All my sisters were married at one point. Mia, Jackie, Michelle, those that married. I think they had children all too early, myself personally. That's my thoughts. I just think that when you bring children into the world, your relationships are too early, or you just really don't have a solid foundation just yet out in the world, that could become an issue when raising children. And do we all need to have children? Does everybody need to have kids? Some people don't need to have children. I think I'm one of those people. Even as a child, I never wanted children, and it never crossed my mind. I'm bringing child insurance, Walter Hampton III. I never thought about it because I looked around, and I'm more pessimistic about certain things in our environments. And I remember growing up in Gary, Indiana, and some of the things my family went through. My mother and father, 7 children, a house in Gary, my father working in the environment. It was just something that I never understood. Why, when I would see other people who didn't have children, like a couple of my uncles and aunts who only had maybe 1 or 2 kids, but it was 7 of us. And then my mother had to get winter coats for everybody, shoes, and you all. I'm not going to say we had a rough upbringing. What I'll say is there were certain things that just weren't going to happen when you got 7 children in Gary, Indiana. You know, there were certain things that just wasn't going to happen. It was very rare we went out to dinner. We cooked every day at the house, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was which is fine. You know, not like we were sitting need to be in the restaurants anyway, but there were some things that took place that I think, because it was so many mouths to feed, that I just made a decision that wasn't going to be best for me. And some people are quick to say, well, you're gay. So I'm thinking to myself, if y'all only knew all the gay guys out here who got children, wake up, dum-dums. Y'all some dumb motherfuckers. If y'all don't think, I know plenty of friends who knew they were gay at the same time I knew I was gay, but they got around here with child support payments and children, and I'm thinking, what in the hell's going on? They ain't raising none of them. Some of them are, some of them aren't. That ain't my issue or battle. I ain't got no children to raise, no woman to fight about child support payments, none of it. But I know quite a few people, and I also have a lot of straight friends who made the decision not to have children. I have found that the most irresponsible people are the ones out here burdening these children into the world. The most irresponsible people who shouldn't be having kids are having them. I'm thinking like saying, you're the last person that should have a baby. You're the last one that should be baking a baby right about now. But that's what I find in the black community. I don't know much about the white community or the Hispanic community. I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you about the black community. And the vast majority of these people I see having children probably should not have children. Either they're too young, they're too immature, their mind not focused, they're still up in the clubs. How can you have 3, 4, 5, 6 children, but every weekend you turning up in some nightclub? My father never went to a club. My mother never went to a nightclub. How are y'all having all these kids in y'all in the club? Who watching the children? Why y'all at drinking that night time? Who watching the kids? Who? I have friends who have 3, 4, 5, 6 children, but every weekend they on Instagram up ahead, and even their wives, they sitting up in the club, they in this bar, they in this lounge, this hookah bottom, just thinking, where are the kids? Didn't you just have a baby a year ago or 6 months ago? Where's that baby? And I'm not saying that people shouldn't get out and enjoy life, but every weekend, y'all got to leave the house. Are you leaving it with a babysitter? And it could be a stress reliever. I don't know. They're young, but well, when you start hitting your late 20s, early 30s, it's about time to give up that nightclub when you got children at home. Drinking and driving up and down the highways, dangerous lifestyle, in and out. No, you can't be in and out these dangerous nightclubs. At some point, you got to wake up immature and say, I am a father, I am a mother now. And you sit your ass at home. And what you do in that nightclub in the middle of a pandemic any damn way? Don't you know the coronavirus is going to bite you in your ass? So, now they don't hear that shit. Y'all, literally, I was looking at some Instagram pictures last night. People were dancing their ass off all weekend long in various nightclubs and spots, and all dancing. No concern about a pandemic running wild. Rates surging. Coronavirus be damned. They go into the damn club, and they shouldn't have been there. And all these people had children. You have children at home. What if you pick up the virus? I know y'all sick and tired of hearing about that goddamn coronavirus. We all sick of it. Yeah, we are sick. The vaccines are coming. But in the meanwhile, we got to be careful. You're not social distancing. You can't wait in. None of them wear masks and sitting up in these clubs. I'm thinking, y'all have kids at home. Irresponsible behavior. Then I have another friend who has children. They never wear seatbelts. He said his mom didn't believe in seatbelts, so he don't believe in seatbelts. The kids be all over the car, and I'm like, dude, this is going to be a disaster. Why don't you buckle them seatbelts up? Well, I don't believe in seatbelts. You don't believe in seatbelts? You're going to get a ticket? What if you have a wreck? Them kids get thrown from that car? Why would you not believe in seatbelts and child safety seats and all this stuff? But some of my family members have done this foolishness too. And they got them expensive ass tickets. I get a ticket because I didn't have the kids in their seat club and I got to go to court and blah, 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 blah. What are you telling me this for? I don't care. You knew to buckle them seats up, put them kids in child safety seats. If you can't afford it, go buy them. Sometimes they get them things out for free. I've seen it. Some people don't need to be parents. And the people that I find who are responsible and mature enough to be parents, they're not parents. Because raising children is expensive. So to answer my mother's question, Ms. Hampton, no, I don't ever wanted any children. You sure? I don't understand. You wanted 7 children. I don't. We 2 different people. You wanted a harem of children. Y'all growing up in Indiana with 7 kids, nieces and nephews, our cousins in and out of the house. It was just a lot going on. You see how quiet and peaceful it is over here. You hear the pitter-patter. Any children running around here tearing up my shit. Quiet. Listen. Just the raindrops outside. I love it. Not even an old grouchy Earl running around here. Quiet. One good thing about Mama hauling ass over here is quiet when she goes. I feel good. I need some coffee. Put on some coffee. I'm over here listening to Christmas music. I'm in the spirit of Christmas. Yeah, I'm atheist, so what? Tell me. I like Christmas music. I got my Tony Braxton Snowflakes playing. I got my little Christmas music playing. I turn off when I stop the video and put back on my Christmas music. Go up there, get dressed. Finish washing, drying these clothes, go over and see if the line is long at that voting facility, drive by my storage facility and clean it out so I can get rid of this junk. I'm going to take pictures of that stolen refrigerator today. Pictures, I'm getting rid of that shit this week. Enough. I'm not going to be babysitting. No, I just have to take a loss on it. I had enough. I didn't pay for this shit. Almost 2 years, $100 a month. That's $2,000. What the fuck was I thinking? That shit got to go. So anyway, I'm gonna go have some of my plans. I got this loaner vehicle. I had to take my car to the shop for service, and they told me they'd be finished in a couple of hours. Then they blast me and say, "Keep it to Monday." So at some point, I'm going to drive all the way up to the Mercedes dealership in Alpharetta, assuming they finish my car today. she didn't send me a text message. Money, I won't get stuck in that damn traffic out there. Another thing, one of my friends who has all these kids, he doing all his Christmas shopping. They bought all these kids just Christmas shopping. And another thing that concerns me about black parents with children, what are you doing with your children's minds? Are you educating them? Are you just letting the public schools educate them? Are you also spending time with them? Do they know how to use laptops? Do they know how to use computers? Do they know how to use this stuff to make? Are you educating your children to survive in this real world? Are you just letting the public school system educate them to go straight to the prison system? Y'all spending thousands on Christmas toys for these kids. Are you? If I had children, I would have them extracurricular activities, all kinds of stuff, but mainly math and science, math and science, math and science, math and science, so they can learn something. Math and science. The hell with that Bible and Bible studies and church lessons. Math and science lesson. Get in there. A tutor. Educate these kids. Teach these kids. So that's the most ridiculous thing I've seen. That is the most ridiculous thing I've seen. All them damn toys and stuff. And them kids. Can them kids read? Y'all be amazed how many children today cannot read. Yeah, you're not amazed. Because if you read these comments on Facebook and Instagram, these run-on sentences that run on 10,000 miles, a marathon of words, no sentences or commas, no direction, no structure. It's like, what am I reading? What are you reading? I'm like, okay, I started reading that sentence. I said, okay, I can read this. Because it just goes on and on. You're trying to, in your mind, you're trying to put build a sentence and structure to it, but it's just a gibberish of words. Who wrote this shit? It's 10 miles long. I'm like, my God, who wrote it? And then I hate when they me quit complaining. But no, I never wanted any children. And I'm grateful. I don't see. I'm sure there are some great parents out there having great things with their children, and lives are great, and the children are great. But what I've seen is disaster, chaos, and confusion on my end. It could be the people I'm hanging around. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who I know whose children have graduated high school, going to college, and doing great. My cousin. Archie on my father's side of the family, less religious people, and I think that makes a big difference here. Religious, but not religiously insane, like my mother's side of the family. It's a big difference. Not all of them, but quite a few of them have invested in their children, got an education. There's a big difference on that side over there. And on my mother's side, there's a lot of my cousins have gone to school. But religion just, it's a battle on that side. But it is what it is. So now, my mother's, and she like brings about, do you ever want to have children? Years ago, my mother used to think, okay, this is just the phase you're going through, and I know one day you can have a nice wife. I'm thinking, okay, Miss Hampton. And that's when we really had battles. I had to put her in her place. Really had battles. She, Mama, I'm gay. What woman are you talking about? What don't you get? Change what? That's just a lifestyle choice. You can change. Crazy. That shit ain't changing. You won't be praying the way the game is happening. But you would go at it back then. Now, and the funny part is I'm 50 now, so I always look back and say, so when we moved to Atlanta, I was 18 years of age. So my mother, who's 74 now, let's just do the math. Well, let me get out my calculator and let's see. I'm just curious how old she was. She had been was she in her 30s or 40s? If we moved here to Atlanta, let's just do this. If the year is 2020, 220, oops, minus 1989, 89. That was 31 years ago. I've been in Atlanta for 31 years. So my mother had to have been, she's 74 now. So take 74 minus 31. She was 43 when we moved here. relatively young. Now I'm 50. So she was 43 when I graduated high school in 1989. So that's when we moved here. But anyway, the reason I was bringing that up is that back then, in her 40s, I guess, from her 40s to 50, she struggled with understanding human sexuality because she was still caught up with the rapture, caught up in the rapture of Jesus. And she still is today. But back then, it was much worse. She mellowed out on her aggressive behaviors about towards her children and what she deemed as lifestyle choices. And she would interfere sometimes between Earl and I. At one point, my mother had a cleaning company, and she would come in and clean our house for us, and she just kept up so much chaos, I had to fire her. That caused a rift between us. You having your own mother come into your home and clean, and you're in a relationship. She'd clean the house, and we were doing real estate construction. We were busy, and she's coming in cleaning and creating chaos and confusion. I said, okay, enough of this, Miss Hampton. I remember that day I went to closing, and she was saying something to me. I left that closing turns office and went straight to the house and said, "You are fired, Miss Hampton. Don't come back here no more. Hand me my key." And the end of that. Yeah, we were going at it back then. But she was in her 40s. And maybe she just didn't understand. And that religion, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Whew, there gotta be something else for black folks to do with their time instead of screaming to Jesus. Y'all gotta find something to do besides screaming to Jesus. Please, get a hobby, a habit, grow a garden. Do something. Y'all can't just go through life screaming to Jesus all day from sun up to sundown. He is not gonna come resolve any of those issues. Trust me on that one. But I don't want this to get into a rant and raving video. But I think people need to respect people who made a choice or decision, who don't want children. Everybody don't need them. Everybody don't need them. And you look at all these abused children running around here in foster care and hurt and harm and all this stuff, and y'all still trying to force this mess on people. The children who are here on planet Earth now ain't being taken care of. There's too many, it's thousands of children in foster care. They do a special every week, and it breaks my heart to watch this stuff. Last night they had a white family. I don't know if y'all live in Atlanta. 2 days ago there was some white children, 4 of them, brothers and sisters, who needed to be adopted. I'm thinking, and where their mother and father? It's just sad. And they're in foster care and they're divided up. And I hear these horror stories about this foster care system. No, hell no, I don't want no children. I want to bring them into that nightmare. What if something happened to me? You know, which one of my family members would take care of my children? That's another thing I would not want to dare do. But again, those are all my thoughts. I understand that children are a blessing somewhere on planet Earth. Ain't in the soft side of the ghetto. But I think if you can afford children, you are mature and willing to dedicate your life to those kids. I mean, having children means exactly that, dedicating your life to your children. They're expensive. Worth the expense if you got the money. I just find the most reckless, irresponsible people are the ones out here having all these kids. The ones who can afford them maybe might have 1 or 2 or none at all. That's just my experience. You know, I love to see happy marriages, happy family, happy kids, people excelling in life, things moving forward. I love that type of stuff. It don't happen every day though, not in the black community. Let's just keep it real. A lot of women out here raising these kids alone, dead and nowhere to be found. So, yeah. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on that. I just, the trials and tribulations of staying with a Christian mother. Oh, Lord. She seems to have toned down things a little in the past few days. I have to let it be known this is an atheist household here. We don't scream at Jesus over here because we know he ain't coming unless he come and fix this leak in the ceiling up here. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. I want to go by the storage bin and grab a few things out of there and take snapping pictures of those appliances so I thought I had some pictures of my phone. I guess I don't. I thought I did, but I guess I don't. I just shit. I'm gonna pull that stuff out of the storage bin. Anyway, my goal is to be done with that storage bin this month. I got rid of a lot of that stuff. If I get rid of that stove and refrigerator in there, that's really the battle. But anyway, today is, like I said, today is Monday, December 14th. The year is, damn, these days are flying. It's already December 14th. We halfway through this month. December the 14th, 2020. We're still in the coronavirus pandemic. I hope 100 years from now, when people are watching these videos and then the next pandemic and people running around 100 years from now not wanting to wear masks, not social distance, and still in the club shaking their groove thing. Just keep in mind, y'all, they did it in 2010, 2022. They didn't want to follow the rules. And I'm sure 100 years from now, they still not going to want to follow the rules. I guarantee it. Anyway, I'm out of here and enjoy your Monday.